It's Ellen Honeymoon in Maryland. Thank you. It's springtime in the Rockies for sure. Isn't it wonderful that as the snow is melting, the grass is so green? It's like, wow, Colorado's coming back to life again. It's just awesome. It's time for us to think about spring and growth. It's time to think about coming out of the dark times of being in a dormant place and feeling that urge for us to grow. I can imagine from this day forward for the next 6 months, you won't want to go to Home Depot unless you're going on a weekday. Because Saturdays and Sundays, people are just so excited with this urge to grow that they're buying plants and seeds and fertilizer and so many gardening things. I had to go out and buy some seeds myself, and I could hardly wait to plant them. I have a little garden on my deck. I don't dig down in the dirt like I used to, but I have all these pots, and I want to plant things. I can hardly wait. Life can get pretty ho-hum sometimes, and I often feel dormant. Maybe you do too. Sometimes there's just nothing going on in our lives, and I feel like the grass, and it's all brown, and the trees don't have any leaves on, and I just don't have the energy. But when spring comes, and when the grass gets green, and I see the buds, little flowers are starting to bloom on some of my trees, I just get excited, and I think, hey, wait a minute, why have I been just kind of down in the dumps? Why have I just not allowed life to live itself through me? It's time. Not only have an urge to plant these seeds, but to plant new seeds within myself. And maybe you feel that way too. It's time. Time to allow yourself to come up with something new and wonderful. And I promise that there's something that wants to grow in you. Something that wants to grow in you today. You know, a lot of seeds are just so tiny you can hardly see them, and some of them are big, like an avocado seed. And those seeds look like they're nothing. They look dead. It's hard to believe they have any life to them. Little teeny tiny things, you know, what are they? But they have everything. They have every quality of God within them. They have life in them. They're just waiting for us to set them free, to plant them in the ground, to nurture them, to allow them to grow. When you were conceived, you were an infinitesimal little speck that couldn't be seen by the human eye, but you contained every quality of God within you. You contained everything that was needed for you to grow and to become all that you can be, to live a life that's worth living. You may think that you have just a little teeny tiny seed of an idea within you, a little teeny tiny seed of a dream that you want to fulfill. And maybe it feels like nothing. Maybe it doesn't feel like it could go anywhere, but that little teeny tiny seed, I want to tell you, was planted by a powerful force within you. And it contains everything that is needed for it to grow and to blossom and to bring you to a life that you can really love. I invite you to be willing to plant that seed, to listen to that urge you have to grow. Because when you plant that seed in the ground, it just needs a little nurturing, a little water, a little sunshine. Just like you need to nurture that dream. Some churches believe that Mary, the mother of Jesus, was born perfect. They call that the Immaculate Conception. So a teacher of a religious class told this story about one day when she asked the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this little boy came up and he said, I want to be a lion tamer. I'm going to be a lion tamer. I'm going to tame all those lions that roar. The other little children just looked at him like, you what? You what? No way. He said, well, I'll have my mommy with me. Sometimes, maybe we have such an exciting dream within us and we think, I want to tame lions. I want to be that person who has the power and energy and the courage to tame lions. But I don't get to take my mommy with me. But I do have a power. I do have a power within me that's strong and fearless, that gives me the courage and the strength and the wisdom to tame lions, to live my dream. And you do too. I talked about the Immaculate Conception. That means, immaculate means perfect, flawless. So the teacher taught the children about the Immaculate Conception, and little boy went home to tell his mommy what he learned. And he said, Mommy, I learned that Mary had an immaculate contraption. You have an immaculate contraption within you. You have the perfection within you to create. The contraption within you was conceived for you to be able to do whatever it is that you're called to do. The seed that's planted in you is immaculate, it is perfect. And you are perfect, whole, and complete. You were created with all the tools you need to succeed, to find meaning in your life. Just like the seed, all you need to do is to allow it to be planted and to grow and mature. And remember that you were created in the image and likeness of God. You were created with every quality of the divine. You have all the wisdom, all the resources, all the joy, all the wholeness, all the health, the harmony, the guidance that you need to achieve. And it started with a little seed within you that contained every quality of the divine, that is waiting for you to plant it, waiting for you to nurture it, waiting for you to say yes. At birth, we felt pretty helpless, and we were helpless. You look at a little baby and you think, baby can't do much. But there's an urge to grow within the fetus, within the baby that says, grow, grow. At conception, as I said, you had everything within you when you were just that little cell, and yet something inside of you just was so excited to multiply those cells, to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And you were nurtured in that womb. You had a nice, warm, cozy place, and everything was provided for you. It was a dark place, though. You spent 9 months comfortable, taken care of, but it was dark. And sometimes you probably thought, I sure would like a window in my womb. But in spite of your comfort, something inside of you told you that it was time for you to make a change, to push out into the world, to move from that dark place, comfortable though it may be, into the light. That was the biggest change you have ever made in your whole life. Huge change to be born. And now you have an opportunity for another birth to take place. There's an idea, there's a dream, there's a vision within you. Something amazing wants to be birthed through you. It requires some change, and change is scary. It means we have to do things differently. It's not like the comfortable place. Even if we're in a dark place, at least we know our way around. So feel safe. But change means to move into the light. It means to come alive. So we're born and we feel insecure because we have these little wobbly legs. You've seen so a lot of you have animals, livestock, and you've seen baby horses being born, or at least you've seen pictures of them. And now from the time they're born, they come out of these wobbly little legs, little spindly legs, and they can hardly stand up, and they struggle, but somehow there's a muscle. The muscles develop because there's something within them that tells them to grow, and that muscle to grow and develop and become strong. And when we want to try something new, sometimes we just feel terrified. It's like we're walking around on little wobbly legs and we don't know if they can support us, but something inside knows how to strengthen those muscles. Something inside of you knows how to make those muscles within you grow and become powerful. Because that's how you were created. You have everything within you. Everything within you to make your dream come true, to live a life that you could really love. So we have to ask ourselves, well, what's stronger? Is the urge to grow stronger than my fear of change? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but I invite you to trust that there is that strength within you, that there is that power for good. It has it all figured out, how you can grow, to trust. You didn't come into this life to be a radish. You came into this life to express the fullness of the divine within you, to express that magnificent life that God created you to live. I think of myself as a radish once in a while. I do. I forget the power within me, and I just think, I don't even like radishes. So I go through times in my life when I think, I'm just a radish and I don't even like me. Do you ever feel that way? I need to know the truth, that I was created to be a rose or a lily or a pineapple or a banana or something that's sweet and beautiful and wonderful. And the truth is that that's how I was created. That's how you were created. You were created to express the magnificence of the kingdom of God. Remember the master teacher told us that the kingdom is within you, the kingdom of God is within you? That means that everything, every quality of the divine is within you. You lack nothing. When there is a dream within you, an idea, a way that you are to unfold, that idea, that dream, came from the divine essence within you. Just not some fantasy. Trust it. It's a seed. It wants to be nurtured. It wants to grow. And it wants you to know that you are a co-creator in life. Life isn't just imposed on you. You are a co-creator. You plant the seed. Let me rephrase that. Let's say that God plants a seed, but you nurture the seed. You say yes to that seed that wants to grow. So I invite you to go inside and to explore. What is this vision? What is this vision within me? Ask that higher power within you. What wants to emerge through and as me? Some of you are going to be taking the visioning class that starts next week, and you're going to learn tools that will help you to draw out the highest vision for your life. It's a powerful experience. If you're not taking that class, let me just invite you to just go inside, be in a quiet place, and to feel the presence of the divine within you and say, what is God's highest vision for me? What is God's highest vision for me? What is longing to emerge? What seeds do I need to plant in order to live a life that I can truly love? We have 10 amazing practitioners in this church that are available to have a session with you, to pray with you, or to spend an hour in a private session to help you allow that vision to come forth and say, how can we allow this to emerge? How do we nurture it? What is the next step for me? If you're still breathing, there is a purpose for you. Sometimes when I ask my geezer friends, well, how are you? And they say, oh, I'm on the right side of the grass. As though that's, an answer. But, I'm not only on the right side of the grass. God's not done with me yet. God's not done with any of us. God has a plan for us. If we're still breathing, God has a plan for us. And we don't have to figure out how to do it because God has it all figured out. The divine mind is a part of our mind. When we allow ourselves to see the truth of who we are, that we are co-creators, that plan becomes clear, and all the resources we need to come to us, and all the ideas, all the wisdom, the plans come through us. We just need to follow through. Know this, something wonderful longs to emerge through you. It's urging you to grow. What seeds do I need to plant to live a life I can truly love? And don't say I can't, because don't say I can't. How many of you have heard of Chi-Chi Rodriguez? Golfers? Oh, lots of you. Oh, good. Perhaps you knew that Chi-Chi and his family grew up extremely poor. There were days when there was nothing for them to eat. They lived in a shack. When he was 7 years old, he got a job working in a sugarcane field. And he was pulling a plow behind oxen. Hard work for a little kid. Their little shack was located near an old rundown golf course. And sometimes people would come out there and play golf, and he would watch them. So he created his own little golf club out of a guava branch. And he used bottle caps as the balls, and he would pretend he was playing golf. And watch the golfers. Pretty interesting. Well, some of the golfers saw him, and they invited him to have a part-time job working in the golf club. He made 35 cents a day. Pretty exciting for that little kid. As he grew older, someone at the golf course decided to help him out and taught him some things about playing golf. He started getting better and better, and whenever he had time, he was practicing and practicing and practicing. But in the Army, but when he got out of the Army, he had this urge to grow. Went back to that golf course and got a full-time job working at the golf course. And one of the professionals started helping him, and he learned to be very, very good. And you may know that he won 8 tournaments, won many awards, because he allowed that dream within him to be nourished, to be fulfilled. He trusted it. He became a co-creator in his future. He could have just lived a life in poverty as he started out, but he didn't. He allowed that dream to grow in him. But there's more. Not only was he famous and making good money as a professional golfer, but he formed a foundation because he wanted to help other children who were in poverty like he did. He wanted to use golf as a way to help them. He wanted that to be his legacy. So consider 2 things. First of all, I'm inviting you to allow the seeds in you to grow and to allow you to live the life you can really love. And secondly, have you thought about the legacy that you want to leave? What do you want to live on after you're gone? Warren Buffett, you may know, is one of the wealthiest men in the world. And I see him constantly doing things to make this world a better place, because he's not going to be here forever, ever. But he does things to help the world become a better place. He said, today someone is sitting in the shade because someone else planted a tree a long time ago. I love Parker. I love Douglas County because we have a lot of beautiful trees. I used to live in the Pinery, and I specifically moved there because I love those magnificent trees. But how old do you think those trees are? Oh my word. Have you thought of planting a tree? You were not born a tree. You were born a seed, and you can plant a seed. You could plant a tree that other people can use for shade, that birds can nest in, that squirrels can climb up and down. You could plant a tree. What else could you do to leave a legacy, to make the world a better place? We have people here. Phil Tepp is in charge of our children, and we have many people that help our little kids. The children are our future. Those of you who help with the children's church are creating a legacy of a world that will bring meaning for the future. Our children's teachers are teaching our future leaders, leaving a legacy. Many of you are parents. As you nurture the seeds within your children and bring them love and joy and share your wisdom with them, it's like planting a tree. You're leaving a legacy with teachers here, with people who are friends and neighbors who make a difference in the lives of other people. Our 10 practitioners have spent 4 years in training to do what they do, to earn a license, to provide us with spiritual support. The work that they do is leaving a legacy, is changing lives. The money that you donate to our center is helping us to build and to support other people. The money you give to other organizations that touch your heart are leaving a legacy for the future. What seeds do you want to plant for the future? You got a whole bunch of seeds that you can plant. Seeds within yourself for a life that you can live and love today. Seeds that you can plant for future generations. Be a co-creator and allow the divine within you to guide you. What is right for you? What is meaningful for you? How can you nurture that something that's waiting to emerge through you today? Just start by being willing. Start by being willing to be fearless. If it means lions are going to come, be a lion tamer. Because you don't go in there alone. You have the support. You co-create with the divine. And you set the intention. These are the seeds that I want to plant. This is the life that I could truly love. This is the future, the legacy that I choose to lead. Remember that you are fully equipped to do whatever you need to do to grow. Pay attention to that urge to grow. Now is the time to plant your seeds. Now is the time to say yes. I'm willing to co-create my life. One of meaning today, and one that lives on in the future. I'm going to trust that master gardener that guides me, that creates my garden in great beauty and magnificence. So let's have a prayer about that. So we just go inside and into that safe place, that beautiful place where we know that the divine resides. For we are never separate from our source. There is a power for good, a power for love, a power for joy, a power for wisdom, a power for wholeness and health that's within us. And that power is ready and able to support you. That power has an amazing plan that longs to emerge through you, to bring you into a life of magnificence, to bring you to a life you were created to live, a life that you can truly love, a life that lives on through your contributions to this world, to bring others on our planet healing and wholeness and a life that others can truly love. I know this is true. I claim it for us now. I am so very grateful. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I invite you to affirm this truth with me as we say together, and so it is, and so I am, and so we let it be. Amen.